now I'm just going to pivot and talk with other organizations about what we offer. So I work over in Success Center, San Francisco, but we cater to both the San Francisco and the Oakland communities with what we call equity jobs, which is AKA cannabis jobs. So recently cannabis has become legal, so it's a brand new industry. And what we do here is the Equity for Industries program is instrumental in changing the digital landscape of the cannabis industry, empowering those most impacted by the war on drugs through education with a combination of workshops and a newly launched internship training program. Success in this equity department has taken the social equity challenge head on. So we have an internship training program. It's unlike any other. No one else is doing it. Basically, what we do is we take anyone 21 plus, and we train them on how to work in the cannabis industry, and we pay them. So you come to class for 5 weeks, you do classroom learning. For 5 weeks, we pay you $500 for 5 weeks of learning, and then after that, we place you in a job. So you don't have to go interview for a job, you don't have to hunt down a job, we will have a job waiting for you. And then we promise you 500 hours in that job, which is roughly a 90-day probationary period. And then hopefully with all the training and education that you receive, plus all the support that we give you throughout those 500 hours, those dispensaries will keep you long-term. And then you can start your career in cannabis. Working in cannabis industry is kind of like, it's pretty cool because they have a full-time work week, but their work week is only 30 hours. They want to make sure you have a life balance. There's not a high turnover rate, so they always offer full-time positions along with benefits. So, if you want, and then they promote from within. You don't have to have like a crazy educational background. You just have to be passionate. You have to be good with people, and you have to be able to sell cannabis legally. And who wouldn't want that? So a lot of also our participants are reentry. They have cannabis offenses, whether it's federal charges or a small citation for smoking some weed back when you were in high school. We welcome all of those cannabis offenses, and we will get you paid to work in the cannabis industry legally. We also support those looking to start their own cannabis business. So I know that Oakland has an equity program, as well as San Francisco. So if you get your equity number, you come on over to us. We will support you with educational workshops and the resource network to help you to follow the steps to build your cannabis business from the ground up. We also offer expungement clinics. So if you want to get those cannabis charges off of your resume, we have those. That's free. All of our services are free. I mentioned that. And then what else do we have? We have our expungement clinic, you get a free legal representative, and they will help you through the process of expunging your record. And you don't have to just have cannabis offenses. Come see us. Any offense, if you have a youth record, whatever, come see us. We'll help you try to put you in the right direction to get your record expunged. And then we also have a resume workshop, mock interview workshop, where we place you with HR managers who rebuild your resume. So these aren't just random volunteers that help people build their resumes. They're actual people that work for actual dispensaries. And so I'll place you with somebody, and they'll help you rebuild your resume, and then I will send that resume to them for you to get an interview. And that's how that goes. So over here at Success in this equity department, we're doing a lot of work in the cannabis industry. I know some people, they may give a little pushback when they hear cannabis, but at the end of the day, it is a legal industry, and there's a lot of opportunity for people like us and people who were the most affected by the war on drugs. So that's what we want to get. If you have any questions? Okay, cool. Yes.
Well, once the person lives in 5 weeks, what is your hourly pay on?
Okay, so the hourly pay we like to try to promise our partnership is $18 an hour. If you have experience in customer service or any type of other background and you're just looking to get in, I will help you, and I also will encourage you to negotiate a higher pay. So Some of our interns are doing the 18 because they have no experience, little to no job history. One of our interns just started at 21. We have somebody who was a manager looking to get back into the industry. She's getting paid like 22 after doing our internship program. So we take all levels. So,
you maybe have an interest in cannabis, they're going about it the wrong way. And he's like, man, I want to find ways to like maybe create opportunities for folks. They just get caught up on like kind of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Which again, unfortunately, it's not like just low level dealing or whatever. It's burglary, quote, because they busted the doors down for trying to get some plants.
And that's, I guess that's what a program like this is for, to determine that. And then we also, on the other side, push equity. So if they come to us, we get them a job in cannabis, they can get that experience, and then they can figure out how to get their own equity number, start their own business. There's several different paths. So definitely connect with me offline, and I'm going to turn it back over to Dominique because I think my time is coming.
Thank you, Reba. And Shamaya, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Reba said in regards to Second Chance. So we also work with reentry individuals. So they don't necessarily want to be in the cannabis industry, but want to work in other fields. We are partnered up with a multitude of employers who deal with Second Chance. Our next presenter is going to be our partnering employer, AMR. We have Brian Ingram. He is going to be presenting on his program, training program in education and development. So,
been there about 5 years. I recently got put on the field last September to do higher recruitment and a part of the Success Center. So last year I was fighting for a program to try to get people training to become EMTs. EMT school is kind of expensive when you go. I pay for mine out of my pocket. So AMR sat down, we kind of battled, and it was like, hey, let's figure out a program where we can get people to come and get them to train. But unfortunately, when the pandemic happened, we lost a lot of people quit. Medical needed that. So we had to come up with something to get people that's in medical. All right, well, find some way to, we got our own school in Livermore called NCTI, Northern California Training Institute. So, well, we just paramedic school. So why we can't do PhD school in-house? Let's pay people to do it. So we sat down. Alameda County was like one of the first counties to start doing it in San Francisco after we started this year. So we started doing it in San Francisco and Alameda County. So there's only 2 counties that compete. The other county was like Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas in January to see how they were running their program and how, everything they were doing. They just started teaching paramedic income. Right? So paramedic school outside, you got to go to the junior college. They started teaching inside their own. So that's big. So when this came up, I was like, okay, cool. We do an earn while you learn. We'll pay people to go to EMT school. Right now, like a job. 5 days a week, from 8:30 to 5:30 at our living room. No contract. We're not holding you to a contract. We also treat it like a job, right? So once you go through all the interview process to get into school, that's your interview into work. So once you finish the class, you take the national registry that certifies you to work in all 50 states. You got a job with AMR as soon as you got all your test stuff. After you get all your certs, good. You can work in San Francisco or you can work in Alameda County. The reason why is because I know y'all Contra Costa County, they're 911 system. So before you can go work 911, you have to do your basic level training first, which is at a system like San Francisco where we do everything. Alameda County only does BLS, which is basic life support in a facility transport, and CCT, which is critical care. That's working with a nurse. But once you do your 6-month probation of full-time or a year part-time, you can start training for the 911 system to be able to work 911. And anybody, if you got people that are interested in being firefighters, actually a first level of education is to have to be an EMT before you can get firefighter. And that's the path we, AMR, they take more than half of our staff is firefighters. So if anybody's interested in it, here we go, right? We got it. If you got anybody that is EMT and they paid for their stuff in the last year, I'll pay it back in full.
What?
Pay it back in full. Pay it back in full.
What's the entry level money?
So the starting out EMT right now makes like $19.50 to $20 an hour. San Francisco, we in contract negotiation, so it could jump up to $25, $30 an hour.
What's the training?
Huh?
How much is an hour for the training?
Training, it's like $17 an hour for the school. And it's 10 hours a day. Let's say 8:30 to 5:30, it's about 10 hours a day for 8 weeks. When I did mine, it was 5 weeks, and I paid for it. So.
Sorry if I didn't hear this, I was speaking to them over there, but you guys accept like people with background and stuff like
If
that?
you got a background, we're trying to be as much lenient background as possible. This is not as like sexual charges, certain assaults, because again, this is a civil service. Just like if you want to be firefighter, police, sheriff, we do all those type of background. But some stuff if it's older, it might roll off on it. I don't know. I don't do the backgrounds, but I know they are trying to work with backgrounds as well.
And you said the training is in Livermore?
In Livermore, yeah, at our school called NCTI. Yeah, it's like the exit is like right before the Oakland. So that last little exit, we got that whole. It's like in that little strip mall lot. I forget what street it's on.
And I'm just thinking because the majority of my people are in Oakland.
Right. So
do you give some type of stipend for transportation? Or?
no, they're not giving a stipend for travel. But if people don't have cars, I'm trying to figure out how they can come here, clock in. If they need a ride, I want them to have driver's license, and then we can drive like one of our wheelchairs there up to school. And then they'll do like a run off or something just to get ready for the next. Finish the interview. So we do everything like a job. And then you take the class. Once the class is over, you take the national registry. Once you take the national registry, you bring all your papers, all your stuff, done. Start working.
So if they have education, does that give them more pay if they like have a paid degree or something?
Not in medical. Just because you got the degree, I mean that they don't care. But everything is unfortunately medical is all based off of seniority and based off of experience. So just because you got a degree, you never worked before, but that doesn't matter. It's all about experience. You have to get it. Of course I. Chill.
What is the salary range once you're like at your level? What's the range?
The range is always going to vary because contract negotiations, and plus you get every year, your anniversary year, you get $1, right? It can change. Like get $2 now, depending on what's in the contract negotiation.
What I'm saying is, is that low as $20, or can you go up to $50 an hour?
You can go up to 50. But the thing is, I don't want you to stay at an EMT level. That's basic, right? I want you to, like me, I'm in paramedic school and nursing school. You want to start going up. I said, this is a pathway to get you up higher in medicine, right? So paramedics start out at like $32 an hour. And it's hourly, it's not a salary thing. You can become a supervisor. We train people to become supervisors. They make $100,000 a year to be a supervisor. Work 2 days a week. And that is it.
So if somebody wants to go to the success center, they want to skip the whole cannabis, they want to go straight to you guys, they should just ask to go straight to AMR or
Yeah,
how would
I
they
think
do
I
that?
can give you some of the apps right now. All they gotta do is scan the QR code,
Okay,
go through the steps, that's it.
yeah, I'm
You
looking
be,
at
you register, just wait for them, they'll give you a call and an email, set up an interview. Push you like, hey, this class might be full because July is coming. Hey, the next one will be in September. Good to go. If you need a job, we got entry-level jobs, or Success Center got jobs for you.
And I just want to reiterate that these are just some of the trainings. It's with the individuals who are seeking training, schooling, employment. We do a career assessment and do an intake to kind of figure out what they want to do. We have, teens, young youth, adults who previously incarcerated been in jail since they were 16. They don't know what they want to do, and that's where we come in and support and help to identify, what they're going to like versus, financials and salary-based job, either an hourly, be behind the desk, so we do all of that service. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, thank you, Brian. He's the director of our construction program. Hello, everyone. Hello, how are you all doing today? Hello, right? So, first of all, I want to thank you all for having us out today and give you just a little back history of Success Centers. Success Centers has been in existence for over 40 years. We started off
by Woodside, which is the bungalows right by Juvenile Hall. We actually left those bungalows in 2017 and moved into Independence High School. And then we were blessed with having our own location. So I am housed out with Doree at 1245 Howard Street, which is our employment training location. And in that location, we have construction, we have a sound studio, as well as we run our pit stop. Our pit stop is a program that we have for re-entry that services the bathrooms in the San Francisco area. Brian is also on that team that operates that division. We have our program manager, who is Patrick Carr, who is over that. The reruns our recruitment program for the construction training program, which is an 18-week program. We do everything. Nothing is fabricated with that program. Everything is hands-on. You learn tape measuring, you learn math, we have an NCCER curriculum, which is for the National Centers of Construction Education and Research. That is a 8-module program. It's actually 9, but we only do 8 because unfortunately the CEO and the board will not buy me a rig that I've been asking for, right? And I want that rig real bad, but unfortunately I don't have some place to put it. But we want, right? But in all honesty, so we have safety. Like I said, it is an 8-module program. It's safety, math, power tools, hand tools, construction drawing, employability, material handling, and communication. We use these for everything. Even if you're working at our pit stop, you do these certifications because you're out in the community, you're learning how to do hazmat, you're learning how to repair certain items, and we also need you to do one more thing for us, and that's how to communicate with the what? The public. So we use all of these things, right, just to enhance. As you heard, everyone that came up to the panel, for anything that we are doing with, we work with re-entry. So we have lifers that have been in the facilities for over 30 plus years. Actually 35 plus, right? So we have to do what? Work with them in terms of communication, resume writing, life skills, job readiness training. So yes, you get the honor of seeing certain people here for the Success Center, but we have a team of over 110 people. So that means it's not one person that's going to be working with you. We do a complete wraparound. So I am blessed, like I said, we stand at 1245. Dominique operates our Oakland location. Reba is at our 1449 Webster Street location, which is our career center, which is the heartbeat of our organization. We have our John Muir Charter School, which is at 1508, because no matter what we're doing, it could be equity, job placement, construction, pit stop. What we want to do is make sure that our people have what? An education first, which is a high school diploma. Because understand, you used to be able to go to Home Depot and Lowe's and get a job. Now, if you do not, or if you are not currently enrolled for a high school diploma, they're not hiring. Let me say that again. If you are not working towards or already have it, they're not hiring. So guess what that means? We gotta prepare people, and we have to be honest with them. So the blessing is, we have a one-stop shop. We call ourselves the one-stop shop because guess what? We have our hand on everything. So we don't want somebody doing what? Going to all these different locations. So sometimes we gotta meet them where they are. And meeting them where they are is, if they're here in Oakland, they go to our Oakland location. I'm up and down the highway, our CEO is up and down the highway, our construction, our cannabis, everybody is up and down the highway because if we get a phone call at one of our locations that we need you there, we on our way. We have a van, so when Brian was stating that if we have to figure out a way to transport you to that location, we gonna figure it out, right? The construction division is an 18-week program. 7:30 in the morning, you late. We want you there at 7:15. The program goes all the way to 3:30. The reason why it's an 18-week program is because we have to recondition the mind to let them understand and let them know what the expectations will be out into the construction industry. We pay them a stipend for doing this. We give them industry certifications. We also give them this NCCER certification, which is not only recognized here in the United States, but worldwide. We are not just construction. That's just simple. We build 10 by 10 foot tiny homes in our warehouse. They learn how to build them and they learn how to deconstruct them. Right now, they are building a storage unit in our location because we're growing, leaps and bounds. So we gotta make sure we got some stuff stored up. We also have a 10 by 10, two 10 by 10 studios put together. So right now, they're in the process of getting ready to do what? Make beats, because our babies like music. So we wanna make sure that they stay challenged. So guess what? Because when they come into do the program, they see all of these things. Our location is actually at operations till about 11 o'clock at nighttime. Always something going on. We start off in our warehouse at 6:30 in the morning. I live in Benicia. I'm up and down the highway. I'm in our office at 6:30. And we're keeping it constantly because guess what? We never know what is needed of our people. And we want to also make sure that they're what? Always have somebody to be there for them. A shoulder to let them know we don't care where you are, how you got there, or what the situation is. We're going to be there. Coming from Antioch and one that's coming from Vallejo. They are never late. The one from Vallejo catches 3 buses to get to the warehouse first he catches the bus to get to BART. Then once he gets to BART, then he gets off, and then he catches another bus to get to our location. That's determination. So do we say to him when he's late, you can't come in? Or do we say, you need a minute, you need some breakfast? You need to come in here and get yourself together? You need a breather real quick? Come on in and get yourself situated. You know you had a rough morning, so let's get you some breakfast.